In this video, we're going to learn how to create Tableau text tables. Let's go ahead and launch the software. And for this tutorial, we're going to be using the sample Superstore dataset, which everyone that has Tableau, it becomes preloaded in the software. And you can access it at the bottom left-hand corner of the import page, right here. And so first thing we should do is consider what data fields we want to visualize. And so for our dimensions, we're going to visualize the category and subcategory data fields. And then for our measures, we want to visualize the sales, profits, discount, and quantity. And so we should also look at our data source if we're unfamiliar with the data. And so for category and subcategory, it looks like this is a furniture / office supplies / technology store. And you can see how like furniture, for example, is broken up into bookcases, chairs, these subcategories here. And so we want to analyze the performance metrics of the business, the raw data. And so creating a text table in Tableau is broken up into two components. There's the header, and then there's the text table itself. Let's go ahead and create the header first. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a calculate field called placeholder. And the formula is very simple. It is just min and 0. And once you type that in, you can hit OK. And so what this placeholder is, this is going to represent the columns for each data field. And so if we have a total of 6 data fields, category plus subcategory plus the 4 measures, that's equal to 6 data fields, we want to bring over the placeholder to columns 6 times. Okay. So the first thing we can do is we can put the name of each data field into each of these rows here, since this is the header of the text table. And so in order to do that, we need to create a calculated field of each data of a string value of the name of each data field. So for example, for category, we can't just drag over a category. We need to create a calculated field that's just named category. So we'll name this category string, and then in single or double quotes, category. And then for the placeholder, each column has its own marks card. And so for the first one, we're going to put in category here, and then we'll show up. And so this is kind of tedious, but it'll be worth it at the end. Category, subcategory. I don't think that showed up in here because it's a little too long, perhaps. Wrong subcategory. Here it is. There we go. Subcategory, now we have profit. Then we have, actually that's going to be, I want sales. Sales is the the first column measure. String sales. Then we're going to bring profit over here. 2 more, discount and quantity. Quantity should be somewhere down here. Very good. Perfect. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to change the visualization type from automatic, which Tableau detects as a bar graph, to square. So we're going to change this to white, change the color to white, and then the size, we're going to increase that. And the format, we're going to horizontally align. The horizontal alignment and center. Perfect. And then now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the header here. Right click, remove the header. And then bring this down. Actually, we should show the header again. And push these together so that it's all on one page. If you want to edit the size of each, edit the width of each column, you need to have the headers showing. There we go. Now we can remove. And there are your category headers. Here's the text box headers. And we can also go to the all marks card and deactivate the tooltip since we won't be needing that. Okay, well that's the header. We can name this header. And then we can hide the title. There we go. So now let's create the actual text box. And so once again, we'll use our placeholder. But this time we're only going to be using 4 instances of the placeholder because we have 2 dimensions. So these are just for our measures. And then we want to bring over our category and subcategory. Alright, now let's populate each of these placeholders with some data. So we want the sales first. Sales, and then we'll go down the marks card, populating our columns with our data that we want. So we have sales, then profit, then discount, and then finally quantity. Okay, so in similar regard to the header, we want to change the data visualization type from bar graph to square. Change the color to white. And then we're going to increase the size to half. Now you can see that we have a blank right next to the numbers, which is what we want because we want the focus to be on the raw data itself. And we can also deactivate the tooltip here. So now let's do some cleaning up formatting wise. We can hide the field label field labels for rows, since we won't be needing that considering our header's already made. And then this is just a style preference, but I like to just have the rows divided here, or just the categories divided themselves. And so we go here, we can go to borders, row dividers. We want those. The column dividers, however, we want null. And we'll make the row dividers dotted lines. That'll work. We can also make the text more consistent. Let's see. Tableau book. Tableau medium, no. Here we go. This is Tableau book. We're looking for the same font and the same shade of gray. So it looks like we did that. Can hide the title here. Just doing a mental check to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. It looks good right now. So now we're going to create a dashboard. And you're going to be bringing in the header and the text box. And so we want the text box under the header, obviously. And so what you're going to do is you're just going to drag this underneath. Wait until that dark gray box is the width of the whole screen. And bring this guy up. Hide the title for both workbooks, worksheets. Let's see, let's widen this out. And so the trick here is to align everything. To line all the data fields in the text box with the separating lines of the header. And so it looks like we can do that. And so now we're close. And the only thing left to do is for each placeholder, we're going to edit the axis, choose fix for the range, and choose -5. And so you'll see so what I just did with the edit axis and changing the fixed start to -5, just right justifies the numbers, and so that makes aligning the text box with the header separators easier. And so you'll notice that there were some grid lines that were made here as a result of that. So you can go to Format, and then you can go over to the lines, and then remove the grid lines. So now it's just a game of aligning everything, which might not be perfect. As long as we get close to it. not exactly ideal. Let's see. That doesn't do much. This is my Mac. This Tableau is optimized for PCs, but it's not doing its job with the lines here, unfortunately. So usually when I get this error, if you go down to the dashboard view itself, then you can modify the column width. And then from that extension, you can also, that should return things back to normal here. But for now, this is looking good. We go on to the full dashboard view. Last thing we need to do is just remove the header. And then here is your text box.